because Super Wild Card Weekend is history, and so may be a couple of NFL head coaches after this weekend.
I hope Bill has his cell phone near him, because that thing could be ringing off the hook.
It's already ringing.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Bill Belichick has interviewed apparently with the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm assuming that baby was a Zoom. Or,
that was just to probably drive up the price.
Okay, I think so.
Yes.
Why, you think he's waiting for the Cowboys job?
I think when you look at the Atlanta situation, with they got the 8th overall pick, the quarterback is going to be the interesting element. But I think that if you look at Dallas and you look at potentially Philly, you can walk into two teams that have quarterbacks and that kind of are built and ready to go. And if you're both of those owners and Bill's out there, I don't know why you wouldn't be beating down his door.
He has the upper hand, though, right? Like, he can go talk to Atlanta, and Atlanta ownership can say, Bill, take all the time you need, or do they put him on a strict timetable saying we need an answer by such and such date because they don't want him talking to others? I think if they do that, they lose out on him.
Yeah, he's the ball's in his court.
Right.
He knows that he's probably got plenty of landing spots, and it depends on how bad a team. Like, if Atlanta wants him bad enough, then they make sure no other team gets the opportunity to talk to him because the contract is so lucrative that he can't turn that down.
But when it comes to the Cowboys, do you think Bill, in the end, can really deal with Jerry Jones after he just dealt for 20 years with Robert Kraft?
Does Jerry go, maybe it's time for me to back off a little bit and let a guy like Bill do his thing because he can help me bring a Super Bowl? Right? And their front office hasn't been bad. They hit on a lot of players. So if that's pot Jerry Jones, I mean, it seems like he's pretty decent when it comes to drafting and picking players.
Greg, if you had the opportunity to work for two people, one is very kind to your face but badmouths you behind your back, and the other tells you exactly where you stand, which would you prefer?
I'd prefer the latter.
Yeah, that's Jerry Jones.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I don't think Jerry Jones will be running around behind your back calling you the great intelligent man sarcastically. Mm-hmm. I think he would probably say it to your face. I think you're probably right about that, Curtis.
I think that there is an element of the disdain Bill has for the ownership of the Patriots that would draw him to a group where the owner is in the Hall of Fame in Jerry Jones, and according to Seth Wickersham, with just I could read about the Patriots behind-the-scenes stuff for the rest of my life. It was like 5,000 words. I wanted 5,000 more. But
that was a hit piece, wasn't it?
Oh, my Lord.
Jesus.
Incredible.
But if you look at, like, Dallas, right, it's not because they don't have talent. If Jerry Jones and his son Stephen Jones are part of bringing that talent in, they do a relatively good job. They drafted CeeDee Lamb. You obviously talk about Dak Prescott. So they've hit on a bunch of different players. I think it's more about that team not having an identity because the head coach doesn't really have that type of identity that you can put on a team like that, right? And and that's their biggest issue. Yeah, I understand Dak's got to play better. But you don't think Jerry Jones looks at it and goes, I don't know, he's 80-plus years old. He wants a Super Bowl more than anything, and that window is obviously starting to close on him because of the talented players and some of these guys having contracts that he has to do. And if you got a guy like Bill out there for the next 3 years that can give you one of these Super Bowls, I think Jerry's all for it.
Yeah, although it sounds like the Atlanta situation is built perfectly for Bill because it would be essentially what he had here. There's no general manager there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Bill Belichick making every decision just apparently as he almost was here until Robert Kraft started to meddle. So
what's the most important thing to you, in your mind, do you think for Bill where he is right now? Is an owner that might meddle a little bit like Jerry Jones and brings in solid talent, but your chances of winning are through the roof versus being able to do everything, but your chances of winning, they drastically decrease.
I think probably at his advanced age, the opportunity to win immediately with the talent that Dallas has would be more attractive to him. I would think.
Yeah, I agree.
I would think.
No, I think, and it's also Bill Belichick. He's not going to change his ways. You know what you're getting out of him when you bring him into your franchise. So if Jerry Jones knows that he's going to hire Bill Belichick, he knows the personality situation.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that he's going to have to deal with maybe some back and forth. He's not just going to be, a bump on the log.
But that's
So-
why I think, if for that exact reason, Courtney, he would rather go to Atlanta than Dallas because he gets full control. Bill believes in his mind he is the sole and primary reason that the Patriots won as many Super Bowls as they did. He wants full control wherever he goes. Atlanta will give him just that.
I think Belichick's presser that we all thought was directed at Kraft was directed right at Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones when he said he would acquiesce and not have to be in charge of all the roster moves.
Right.
Okay.
Because it makes too much sense. He's in the NFC East.
They're not going to fire Mike McCarthy.
They're definitely going to fire.
The Eagles' job isn't going to be open. I've been telling Curtis this for like a month. They're not going to fire Mike McCarthy.
I love you, Sham. You know that. You're my cuddly man. I love hugging you. I would just say take the loss, or as the kids say, the L. Mike McCarthy will be.
What L should I take? Does he still have a job?
Yeah,
Okay.
he does.
There are a lot of players that are having his back, though.
Which is a bad sign for that roster. God,
The
he
issue
sucks.
in Dallas is not Mike McCarthy. It's the Joneses. It's always been the Joneses. There's a reason they stuck with Jason Garrett for a decade. There's a reason Mike McCarthy has 36 regular season wins in 3 seasons and can't win at the playoffs. Whatever the Joneses are doing, I don't know, but it is them. It is not.
What
it
are they
is the
doing,
franchise.
though? What are they doing to not allow him? Like you said, this team has had the last 3 years, they've won 12 games, and they've been bounced in the first round every single year. What are the Joneses doing in the playoffs that all of a sudden is not allowing him to win?
I don't know if it's like a pressure they apply to their players and their coaches. I don't know what it is, but whatever is going on there, there's one common denominator in Dallas for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
And it's the Joneses.
It's
and
sucky
they
coaches.
haven't won.
No, it's sucky coaches.
And who picks the coaches?
Right. First it was Jason Garrett for all them years. Then it was
Why would you?
Mike McCarthy.
This franchise kept Jason Garrett in a position of power for a decade.
Right,
We
because-
listen to him almost every Sunday and go, wow, that guy's a boob. And yet he held that job in Dallas for a decade. They're not firing Mike McCarthy after 36
I
wins.
think what they wanted, very similar to what New England is doing, is they wanted a guy that they can be a puppet master to and a head coach. But I think they realize this isn't working. The same way New England goes, all right, Bill's been great. He's running everything, but it's not working. The Crafts go, we need a change. And I think Jerry Jones is going, we also need a change.
Yeah, he's going to have to suck it up a little bit when it comes to ego.
Yes.
But at this point, he's either going to, he has the roster, so he doesn't have, you're right, the window is closing a little bit on this particular roster. And all you do is bring Bill in, and you got the roster, so you don't have to worry about Bill screwing that up. And
Right.
then you got the best coach in the game to coach that team.
And
right?
what does Jerry Jones love more than winning? I'll tell you. Attention.
Yes.
What is going to happen the second Bill Belichick comes in? And Jerry Jones looks like a guy that's growing. See, I've made mistakes in the
Right.
past. I've learned from them. This team is ready-made to win. We'll win 12 games, and then Bill Belichick can be the winningest coach in playoff history to get us to the promised land.
He just put Jimmy Johnson in the Hall of Fame
Right.
and the Ring of Honor.
Good
So
point.
Yeah.
he's like evolving as an owner. And I think you're right, Greg. He kind of sees, because he's up in age, he kind of sees like the light at the end of the tunnel and goes, I might have to change. And he worked with Bill Parcells. And I think now he's in a position, if I can get Belichick, and I
And
feel
how much
this,
success did Parcells have when he went there?
well, he turned that franchise around. They made it
He
to
went like 6-10.
no, they made it to a divisional round. We beat them in Carolina, but you know what?
They went 10-6, 6-10, 9-7. Like that's not very
What,
good.
what did they do prior to that?
But Wiggy, the point that the Cowboys have been bad for 20 years now.
Right, but do they-
now,
are they
now they're
ever
finally
bad?
winning 36
Are
games
they
in
ever
3
bad
seasons.
because of talent? Yeah, you win all these games in the regular season, but yet you get bounced every round. When's the last time they won a playoff game?
Last year they
What?
beat Tom Brady? They knocked him out of the playoffs.
Was it last year?
Yeah, they
Oh,
literally
okay.
ended Tom
All right.
Brady's career.
Two quick stats. The Cowboys since 1997 have won 4 playoff games. Tom Brady won 5 in Tampa. Secondly, the Cowboys haven't been in the NFC Championship game in 33 years.
And who's been in
Or 30
Dallas
years.
all that time? Since 1997.
Right. We're not
Joneses.
disagreeing.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones has made a million mistakes. This is an opportunity at the end of his tenure as owner of the Cowboys to correct it.
But still, don't count out Philadelphia. I
Yeah.
think Philadelphia will be in the mix as well when it comes to Bill Belichick.
You know those Philly fans, they're hot right now, so they're going to be all in the water on Belichick.